I don't pick my nose.
Hi guys, and welcome to Kalitz. As you know, the show that brings you all the latest in football and football-related news. And today, I'm very excited to have with me a very special guest, Mr. Mitch Stevens. He's from Playmaker. Those of you who don't know, Mitch will tell us a bit more about Playmaker as the show progresses. But as you can see, I'm very excited because it's been a long time that I've been wanting Mitch to come on the show and give us a little bit of his expertise and what is his game. So first of all, Mitch, welcome to the show. And I'm going to pose the first question to you is, who is Mitch? Who is Mitch Stevens in personal life, those sorts of stuff? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Derrick. Mitch Stevens is a South African-born but British-bred immigrant, having played football in UK, came here and played but took injuries, stopped playing and took up coaching from a very young age, and have been doing it. I'm 55, 56 now, so I've been doing it since my mid-20s. So I'm a qualified, qualified coach, development focused. Have coached at senior level as well, but I like to deal with the youngsters. I have my own focus group stroke academy at a specialized sporting school, which we get some fantastic results with, and I use Playermaker there. And yeah, just a passionate youth development football fellow who decided to look for something that was football related in technology advancement for training and development of skills as well as analyzing. And I came across Playermaker about 2.5 years ago at the worst time possible as COVID hit. But yeah, I'm incredible results, enjoying it so much. And just wanting people to know about it because I believe it's the future of youth development football, and it can leapfrog South Africa development, particularly because we are so deprived locally of technology in our development ranks.
Yes, Mitch, you won't know how privileged we are to have a guy of your stature and caliber on the show today, who's done it all, seen it all, and is also now in the development and also helping with your social responsibilities towards our South African community, which you know is very fragile, but you know we do have the qualities which are needed in terms of football. We do know how to play football. We have the natural flair to play football. It's just the analytical part and also the technology part that misses there. So Mitch, with that being said, your favorite team in the UK, who do you support? What is your first memory of football? Yeah.
Now that's a sensitive area, unfortunately. Now, my family were born in London. My father lived around the corner from Highbury, so it was a case of just being an Arsenal supporter from young. The whole family is. So yeah, I'm an Arsenal supporter for my sins.
Brilliant, thank you, Mitch. So I have another brother in Arsenal. I don't know if you know, but I'm also a passionate Arsenal supporter. Have been since 2000. Has been since 2002. So I've seen the decline of Arsenal Football Club. I've also seen the high points and the highlights. But as you know, we suffer and we suffer together. But the passion still remains the same. Listen, now the other day, Mitch, I was speaking to a 15-year-old who loves Arsenal so passionately. But his parents are both Manchester United fans, and his whole family are far derived from Arsenal. And I asked him, "What's your story, boy?" He said, "Nah, I just love the way you do it. I love the way you give young kids a chance. If I were to go overseas, I would just go to Arsenal because I know I would get the opportunity." What do you say about that? Do you think that Arteta? I know we're going a bit off the rails now, but I just quickly want to finish this section in the personal life. Do you think Arteta will follow that same philosophy that Arsene Wenger followed in bringing in the youth, or do you think he's just going to go and restructure the team like he has now, and all the youth players will get their chances in FA Cups and those type of cups?
Who knows what happens behind closed doors? We can only look at what's happened in the past, and he's been quite considerate to the youth. I think it's a philosophy and it's a policy at the club that that the youth is certainly considered. They spend a lot of time and money in their development. And word on the wire is that they are putting more money and more time and technology into their development. So I do see youngsters coming through all the time. What's sad is that they just don't seem to get enough time to fire at the highest level because of the pressures and when things are going well, it's all fine. But when things go bad, they go back to the names and the so-called prima donnas to give them the results, which don't always work. I get excited by watching young players. For me, football is about entertainment, and if it's youngsters that bring crowds to the stadiums to watch youngsters play, or the top players in the leagues, it's about entertainment. And for me, I love youngsters, and I love seeing them come through. But what Arteta's going to do, who knows? Does he know himself? That's the question.
That is a big question. Listen, Mitch, moving away from Arsenal and those sorts of stuff, let's just get to why we're actually here, and that is Playermaker. Mitch Stevens, could you please tell us a bit more about Playermaker? How can Playermaker improve players' performances?
Okay, Playermaker is a product that has the ability to give information to the coach that they've never, ever, ever been able to access. Imagine now a coach having access to how many times the ball and the player are involved together, how many times the player interacts with another player, how many times the boy uses his left opposed to his right foot, and a whole bunch of other things. Over and above the tactical and physical data, you're getting this technical data. So now the coach has to sit back and look at his training sessions. He has to look at his progress of his developing players. He has to look at the intensity of his sessions. And it really starts to ask questions about the level of coaching and what you're achieving at a training session. And you can start to analyze yourself as a coach and the players can analyze themselves. So it becomes an answer for what you're actually spending your time doing. And are you wasting your time? Are you repeating things that you don't need to repeat? Are you missing out on areas that you should be working on? And that's what it can do. It delivers factual, unquestioned subjectivity to data to the coach. Quickly, very, very, very accurately, and very affordability. So it's a massive tool, massive tool.
In other words, Mitch, if I understand you correctly, I could basically sit at home and get all this analysis without even watching the game and know how my players are performing. In terms of, I would get these average running meters on the pitch. I would get how many touches he gave on the ball, all those sorts of stuff, and get an average of what the team's averages are like and where he stands out or still needs to improve.
Correct, but it's not only a match relative tool, it's a training relative tool. And I always say to coaches, I said, you spend 6, 8, 10 hours a week training and preparing, you only play for an hour and a half and you have very little control during that game because all sorts of things could happen, injuries, red cards, opposition comes out with a different lineup. So you have very little control about the game, but you have total control of the training sessions. And that's where the true development and learning takes place. So you have this product that can give you all this information about what you're doing during training and see then how it relates to your match performance, and you tie the two together.
Listen, Mitch, have you had great results with this product so far? I heard you said in the beginning of the interview that you did have some great results. So it's actually paying off fruit, all the analysis?
Well, absolutely. I use it in my own little environment that I have it working. I've structured some very basic testing environments, so physical and technical. It's amazing when a player gets information and feedback for their hard work and the time that they spend training, and the guesswork is eliminated and they get reward for their efforts, how the motivated these children become because of the ability to be able to see what benefits their hard work delivers. So there's that factor. For me as a coach, to be able to see that I'm doing something correct and I'm getting results from it, to see areas where I'm lacking as a coach, where I haven't addressed things I'm missing on. That helps me there. And so it gives me the ability to be a total holistic coach, because coaches tend to, you get into a bit of a grind, maybe be worrying about the result or your defensive patterns, and you start to forget things. You might forget your technical attributes or your physical attributes or your ability just to keep the ball, something simple as that, which are difficult things to break down. Everyone says you keep the ball better. What is it that helps you keep the ball better? There's so many factors, and you've got to be good at all those factors to be able to keep the ball better than the opposition. So yes, it just opens the eyes to both the player, the coach, and everyone else that's involved, because at a higher level now, because it's a higher level product as well as a development product, you've got the back end, which allows you an amazing insight to the sports science that it's able to give you. There's no technology out there that can give you your stride length, your flight times, your cadence, these things that can become injury prevention tools for your top end teams with, guys like sports scientists that are dedicated to looking after the players. It gives you that insight because the sensor sits on the ankle of the boot of the player. So it's reading every movement of the leg. It's not a sensor that just tells you where your whole body is going. So it's giving you insight that that's never been available before to coaches, scientists, conditioning coaches, and the whole team.
Thank you very much. That's very informative, and that's very new to us, especially in the Western Cape. We don't have any of those technologies available to us. And the teams, especially where I'm on the grassroots levels, that would be such a great benefit for them if they were to buy into this idea and be part of this Playermaker scheme. I really appreciate you, Mitch, and I really appreciate what you have done for us and also for football in South Africa thus far. At this point of time, I would like you to present a little presentation for us as the fans as to some analyticals that you've done in your current situation or examples and stuff like that.
Okay, well, look, I don't know. I haven't worked with this software before. Where do I share here? Let me see what I've got I can share with you. There's so much information I could share with you. It doesn't seem to want to be working, Derrick. Video file. Here we are. Share screen.
It's relatively straightforward. I think it would project right now.
Okay.
Is it projecting on your side yet?
It's not. I'm getting a.
Are you still there, Mitch? Mitch, are you still there?
It's saying it wants to share. I've not worked with this software before. I'm used to the other platforms.
Okay. Are you able to share, or doesn't your computer allow you?
Make sure you click share on the model and not cancel. Okay, let's try again.
Okay.
Share screen. It doesn't give me the option, unfortunately. No, it's not going to work. No.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Let me just quickly check on my side if it's a setting error from my side, Mitch. If I could just check if I could automatically add screens and video screens, update separate files. I'm just checking through my stuff quickly, Mitch, if I could give you the permission to share your screen.
Yeah,
if it's something from my side. Guest see viewers, guest play. Oh, that's a bit strange because we had a stream now the other day with another guy and he was able to share it with us, his screen, but I think, yeah, it's just a bit of technology. But anyhow, that doesn't matter. Are you able to access anything?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing. Okay, Mitch, that brings us to our next question.
It's a shame because I could...
Yeah? Come again, Mitch?
I say it's a shame because I could show you the dashboard where you're... I said the dashboard that that the product comes with. Once you've got your data, it's all presented very nicely in graph form and comparisons. So you can see drop downs of your physical data, of your technical data. It gives you, for instance, if you're playing a 5v5 or an 8v8 at training, you can actually see your pass completions between the two teams, your successful passes. You can see so much information that gives you tactical insight. This is without video. You don't even need video to get this information. And then if you do have video, the software integrates with video seamlessly. So, and this is an incredibly powerful tool, Derrick. Imagine now having your whole game clipped within an hour of receiving your video back from the intermediary software provider. So then you get your data of every movement, every touch of the ball, and you can then select players, your centre back, for instance, and you want to see how many times he passed to your number 6, or how many times you knocked the ball wide into your fullback. And it's instant. You don't have to do any clipping. It clips automatically. So you then select your option, and it will give you all the video clips seamlessly that you want to see. It saves hours and hours of analytical clipping, and it's accurate, extremely accurate. So it's another additional powerful part of the software.
It makes total sense, Mitch, and that sounds like a wonderful product for each and every, not actually just football players, each and every sport code, right? You could put it on a rugby guy's ankle. You could put it on a, what do you think?
Yeah, no, look, they're looking at, obviously the physical data is common to all these team sports, there's no doubt. It's been used at the NFL in America, but it's specifically for football, because football needs this tool in development football. It actually needs it.
Most definitely, Mitch. Mitch, could you please give us a little bit of background on Playermaker, since we haven't done that? What does your company stand for? In which countries are you? With which clubs are you affiliated currently? And then what is next for Playmaker South Africa?
Well, it's worldwide. There's branches and agencies in the States, which is very big. The colleges and the universities are using it extensively. In Asia, it originated in Israel. It's got head offices in London. 150 top teams around the world are currently using it. Academies like Man City, Glasgow Rangers, Glimt, Club Brugge, and plenty others are using it at the academy level. Our own Janine Vegas club, Glasgow City, they've got it through their whole structure. I was going to share some images of Janine wearing it. Bongani Zungu, who just left Rangers, he was using it. He even used the remote product, because there's another product now. It's made for the commercial market that individuals can purchase it, an individual unit with charging, and it's got an app that you get on your iPhone or Android, which is coming later, but it's iPhone at the moment. He brought it from Glasgow Rangers when he done his camp for the national side 6 months ago, and he trained with it here. So he trained, and all the data that he created training in South Africa was analyzed by his team at Glasgow Rangers in Scotland. So they knew exactly what he underwent physically and technically here. So when he got back to his team in Glasgow, they knew what sort of loads he'd been under. So all the data was accessible to them. Amazing control of your professional sportsman.
Yes, it is. It's actually more of a tag. So he can do anything wrong with his physical attributes, and then they will detect it immediately. Listen, Mitch, this is a wonderful, wonderful tool. What is next for Playermaker in South Africa? Where do you plan to take this?
I'm really seeing the opportunities here in the middle to top end of development. Your pro sides in this country seem very aligned with the traditional GPS systems, but this product is growing massively in the rest of the world in your top level development structures, and also in your second and third tier football, where there's still a lot of youngsters playing and developing. So those are the areas that I'm looking to expose it to next.
That's good, Mitch, because there's really a lot of people in need for this development in our rural communities. Because I've seen in my local rural community a lot of diamonds that just needs to be purified, it needs to be refined, and then we'll have top players in this country one of these days. Because I think it all happens with the development. Because these professional athletes, once they hit the professional stage, there's nothing you can teach them anymore. But if you have someone, a boy of 10 years old, listen, Mitch, I have two sons. The one boy is 8 years old. The other one is 4 years old. I love them very much. They are ballers. I've taught them since they were small. So there's nothing you can teach those guys. So I try, before I give them time to play in a team or in a development academy, I want to teach them at home what I know: how to see the ball, how to read the ball, how to use your body, how to be clever, how to think a skill or two, how to shoot, those sorts of stuff. I would one of these days I would share a video with you on our other platforms, and you would just see how they are developing. And that's where I take it from. I see other kids now that is 10 years old that also needs that development touch, but they don't even have a pair of football boots. They are bare feet, runny noses, but they are playing ball. They don't even have a ball, Mitch. They actually use plastic bags and make it round. And that we still fortunate to see those type of development on grassroots level. And this program and Playermaker would make such a huge difference in the lives of each and every individual, underprivileged individual in South Africa. Listen, Mitch, how can people contact you and contact Playermaker if they want to be part of this, or if they want to purchase your products?
I've got a LinkedIn profile, the Playermaker www website. If they want to register for a demonstration, I can do an online demonstration. And then if they're still interested in going further, I can actually do a physical demonstration. That's how I work. We start with online. I can give them all the information online and show them the platforms and the reports, because all the data converts into Excel, which then you can bring into whatever platform you want to present. I want you to show you how I to my students, what I do is I give them a report, a full report of their previous results compared to their current results on their performances, and they get that in the form of a 4 or 5 page document, Excel document, BI Excel document, and it's all graphically presented to them so they can see exactly what their hard work is paying off for them and where they need to focus and where they are excelling. And that's one of the powers of the product. So if they want it on the website, I'm available. I'm available on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. So yeah, under Playermaker.
Okay, Mitch, listen, just the last little point before we close off our little conversation. I just wanted to know, we do need to have a follow-up session on this, maybe on a different platform where you can show me the analytical stuff and also share your screen with us and go more into depth, because this was more like an introduction into Playmaker. If you are available, sir, in the very near future, because I would like to wrap this part up of the analytical show for us. The last question that I had for you is, this also now takes out the question, the coach doesn't like me. Because a lot of people, when you take off a player and you see some of his attributes, he was lacking, he wasn't doing this, and according to him, he was playing very well. But if the data comes out and the data shows, listen, boy, this is where you're at, I'm taking you off because of this. There's no denying, you understand that feeling. He can actually see now the coach is not favoritism of anyone. This is really according to stats.
You're so right, Derrick, and it's not just for the boys' benefits, for the parents' benefits, for the coach to help him make decisions. It just makes things so much more clear, and that subjectivity goes out the window. So your coach has to now actually know his job, and he has to be has credibility. He has to be accurate. He can't pretend. He has to know what he's doing, and that's credit to the player. So now, for me, a player that is performing will get rewarded, and a player that's not performing, he'll find out why he's not performing, and it won't be guesswork. Unlucky boy, you didn't play well today. Next time, that's not good enough. Give him the solutions. Give him the points he needs to work on, and show him. When a player can see things physically, whether it be in a data graph or a video, it changes everything. And players are then in charge of their own destiny. But I'm excited that the coach has to question himself, because unfortunately subjectivity just doesn't wash anymore. There isn't a team that Alan Clark, you know Alan Clark?
Yeah, I know Alan Clark, the guy that does the interviews or the analysis for Arsenal.
No, the ex-PSL coach here. He's
Oh,
actually
no,
with
Kosovo.
Alan Clark. Yeah, he's with the Kosovo under-21 side. He uses Playermaker. The Kosovo Football Association have got it through their structures. He contacted me and says, Mitch, this product is amazing. He says that players can't hide anywhere. I know exactly what they should be doing, where they should be. He tells me everything. But he says, I've got to be organized. I've got to know my stuff. I can't pretend. So that's the reality. He said, you'd rather use this product than any other product because of the ease of it. He says, normally players don't want to know their stats, or he hasn't got time to show them. Here, he told me he had time to show all his players their clips, give them their stats, and they wanted to know, and they wanted to improve. That's the attitude that you want from players, not hiding, not wanting to do more, etc., but wanting to do more and wanting to know exactly what they should be doing and when they should be doing it. And I think that information is what's going to help our football progress.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Listen, just on that point, as you're speaking about the under-23s or the COSAFA, aren't they the team that's currently taking part in the Olympics?
This was the Kosovo under-21 I was referring to, not the national side. Under-23s are in the, they lost, very unfortunate, they lost 4-3 to France in the dying seconds 2 days ago, I think it was. Was it on Friday or Saturday? Yeah. Terrible. To score 3 goals and still lose a game is very sad. So, you know, there's a lot of work that needs to be done there, looking at why.
I think they need Playermaker. Mitch.
I wonder if they have anything. In fact, I'm willing to put money that our national under-23 side doesn't have any technology helping them.
Oh man, listen, Mitch. I don't want to hold you any further. This has been great fun. I really appreciate your time, sir. I really appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your expertise, sharing your knowledge. I can hear you a very passionate football fan, just as me. And now I see you also Arsenal. That makes me just love you even more. And because you love grassroots football. And yeah, Mitch, is there anything you'd like to say to the people? We didn't get anyone viewing us right now, but I can assure you within 2 or 3 days we'll be up to 500 views on this video. Or 1,000, doesn't matter. We'll just see how far it goes. Is there anything you'd like to tell these people about yourself or about Soccer Kalitz Style, about the platform, about South African football, and about Playmaker as we wrap the show off?
Look, I'm not here to be a pundit or an analyst of our football. I do understand where we are in this country, in our development structures. I do understand how the whole system works here. And I think I've got a good handle on where some of our problems lie with regards to development in a long stretch. So I'm open to taking calls, WhatsApp calls. I'm open to taking and doing presentations of Playmaker. If anyone wants to know more about it, I've got lots of time on my hands at the moment because unfortunately I'm stuck at home, not doing very much on the field at the moment. So yes, I'm open. Derrick, anyone that wants to know more, I'm here.
Thank you very much, Mitch. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, and I hope we'll have that follow-up session very soon. Guys, as you heard it from Mitch Playermaker, the stats, the analysis, please join Playmaker, visit the website, purchase the product, contact Mitch, Mitch at playmaker.co.za. You will get him there. Yeah, and this is #SoccerKalitz signing out.
Thank you.